there's thinking, and then there's overthinking. And you know exactly which one is stealing your peace. Thinking helps you make decisions. Overthinking keeps you from making any. And the wild part? Most of the time, it's not the situation stressing you out. It's the story you're telling yourself about it. You replay conversations, analyze every detail, imagine every worst-case scenario, and before anything even happens, you've already exhausted yourself emotionally. Overthinking isn't preparation. It's self-torture disguised as being careful. And I get it. You overthink because you care. You want to do things right. You don't want to mess up. You don't want to look stupid or fail or disappoint anyone. But let me ask you this honestly. When has overthinking actually made your life better? It doesn't fix anything. It doesn't prevent mistakes. It just keeps you stuck. Stuck in your head. Stuck in fear. Stuck in a loop where you never move forward. Overthinking is basically living through problems twice. Once in your imagination and once in real life. Except half the time, the thing you fear never even happens. You can think without spiraling, you can plan without panicking, you can care without drowning in what-ifs. You know what builds confidence? Action. Trying, learning, adjusting, not sitting there running simulations in your mind like you're predicting the weather. Sometimes your brain creates storms that don't even exist. You start thinking about one little thing and suddenly you're 25 thoughts deep in a crisis that hasn't and probably won't ever happen. You don't need to solve every scenario before you take a step. Life doesn't unfold through overanalysis, it unfolds through movement. Think, reflect, assess, yes, but then decide. Act. Trust yourself enough to handle what comes. You don't need certainty, you need courage, you don't need a perfect plan, you need momentum. And listen, half of overthinking comes from worrying what other people think. But let's be honest. People are too busy thinking about themselves to analyze your every move. Stop giving imaginary audiences power over your real life. Instead of asking, what if it goes wrong? Try, what if it goes right? What if I can handle it? What if this is the thing that actually works? Because you can think yourself out of opportunities just as easily as you can think yourself into fear. Here's something nobody tells you. You don't need to fully know the path to take the next step. Clarity comes from experience, not sitting frozen in thought. And mistakes? They're not proof you're failing. They're proof you're trying. Proof you're in motion. Proof you're alive. A life without mistakes means a life without growth. So stop trying to think your way into a life you can only build through action. If you want peace, do this. Take a breath before you react. Make decisions based on logic, not fear. Remind yourself you've handled hard things before. Focus on what you can control. Let go of the rest and move, even if it's 1 inch at a time. Sometimes you don't need more thinking. You need to trust yourself more. Trust that you are capable. Trust that you can figure it out as you go. Trust that you don't have to be perfect to make progress. You don't need all the answers right now. You just need to stop living in your head and start living in your life. Think, but don't overthink. Reflect, but don't spiral. Plan, but don't freeze. Care, but don't crush yourself with pressure. Give yourself permission to move, to try, to live. Because the life you want isn't built in your thoughts. It's built in your actions. And you're ready. You just have to stop debating with yourself and start doing.